Now we are going to see about energy and momentum in electromagnetic waves. Energy and momentum in electromagnetic waves. So we have discussed about the monochromatic plane waves. Now we are going to see about the energy and momentum in electromagnetic waves. That is the energy per unit volume stored in the electromagnetic field. So the electromagnetic waves know that in that electromagnetic wave there must be some energy. The wave should possess some energy. So the energy per unit volume stored in the electromagnetic field. So the energy per unit volume stored in the electromagnetic field is given by U is equal to half epsilon naught E square. This is due to the electric field plus 1 by mu naught B square. This is due to the magnetic field. So we have written the energy stored per unit volume in the electromagnetic field. In the electromagnetic field, the energy stored per unit volume is U is equal to half epsilon naught E square plus 1 by mu naught B square. Here E is the electric field and B is the magnetic field. In case of a monochromatic plane wave, so simply we have written for a particular wave the energy stored we have written like this. For a monochromatic plane wave, we have already derived a relation for a relationship between the electric and the magnetic field amplitude, that is B square. B is equal to 1 by C into E. B naught is equal to 1 by C into E naught. So B square we can write like this. B square is equal to 1 by C square into E square, which is equal to 1 by C square is nothing but mu naught into epsilon naught. So 1 by C square is mu naught into epsilon naught. So mu naught into epsilon naught E square. So if we use this equation 2 in equation 1, that is instead of B square we can write mu naught epsilon naught into E square. So U, equation number 1, we can write U is equal to 1 by 2 epsilon naught E square plus 1 by mu naught into, instead of B square we have to write this, that is mu naught epsilon naught into E square. Here mu naught will get cancelled, so we will get half. Here both terms are same, so we can add, so 2 epsilon naught E square, 2 and 2 will get cancel each other, so U is equal to epsilon naught E square. So the electric and the magnetic field components both are equal here. Here the electric field component is also same, the magnetic field contributions both are equal. So U we can write epsilon naught E square. So E square we can write like this, epsilon naught E naught square. We are going to write the real term alone, that is cos square k z minus omega t plus del. This equation we have seen already, that is the electric field in general. We can write like this. By including the real term we can write like this, E naught square cos square. In general we can write E is E naught e power I k z minus omega t. So here we have E square, so we have written E naught square is e power I k z minus omega t. That thing we are writing here only the real term, that is cos k z minus omega t plus del. Equation number 3. So this is the energy stored per unit volume in the electromagnetic field. So as the wave travel, it carries this energy with it. So monochromatic plane wave we have seen, if the wave travels it carries this energy with it. So it carries this energy with it. So then the electric field density, that is energy per unit area per unit time transported by the field. You have seen energy per unit volume, that is the energy stored in the electromagnetic field we have seen. Now we are going to see about the energy flux density. So this one is the energy stored in the electromagnetic field. Energy stored in electromagnetic field. So now we are going to see about the energy flux density, that is the energy stored per unit volume per unit area. Energy stored per unit volume per unit area transported by the field. So how much energy transported, that is energy flux density. How much energy transported we are going to see that, and it is given by the Poynting vector S. S is equal to 1 by mu naught E cross B. We are going to see about the energy flux density, and it is given by the Poynting vector S. S is equal to 1 by mu naught E cross B. S is equal to 1 by mu naught E cross B. So this is equation number 4. Here, if E points in the x direction, then B points in the y direction, because we all know that the electric field and magnetic field are perpendicular to each other, and the direction of propagation is along that direction. So E points in the x direction, B points in the y direction, and the direction of propagation is along z cap. So the electric field and the magnetic field we can write like this: E, which is a function of z comma t, equal to E naught cos k z minus omega t plus del into x cap. Similarly, B, which is a function of z comma t, is equal to B naught cos k z minus omega t plus del into y cap. So the electric field is along the x direction, magnetic field is along the y direction. We have written the electric field and the magnetic field. To find the Poynting vector S, which is nothing but the energy flux density. So energy flux density is given by the Poynting vector, which is equal to 1 by mu naught E cross B. Here E is the electric field and B is the magnetic field. E is in the x direction and B is in the y direction. So now we are going to take the curl, that is E cross B. First we are going to find the curl, then we have to substitute that in this equation 4. The curl we have to write like this: E cross B. So as we said earlier, the curl we can write in the first row. We have to write the unit vectors. Here we have written x, y and z. Then the components of E, that is Ex, Ey, Ez. Then the components of B, that is Bx, By and Bz. So it is equal to x, y, z. So the electric field is along x direction only. The y component and z component is 0. So Ex vector and the y direction, the z direction, the electric field is 0. Similarly, for B, x is 0 and By is, we have By and Bz is 0. So we have to substitute for Ex and By. So it is equal to x cap, y cap, z cap. Ex is equal to E naught. Here we are going to write the real terms alone: cos kz minus omega t plus del x, y, z. So y direction we have 0 and the z direction we have 0. Similarly for B, we can write like this: B naught cos k z minus omega t plus del into 0. So if we take the determinant, we have only one term, because x into 0 0, y into 0 0. So z into, we have one term only, that is E naught into B naught. So z cap into E naught B naught cos k z minus cos square. So if we multiply this, cos square k z minus omega t plus del. So B naught we can write 1 by c into E naught. So E naught into B, instead of B naught we have written 1 by c into E naught cos square k z minus omega t plus del. If we multiply this, we will get 1 by c E naught square cos square k z minus omega t plus del into del. So it's equation number 5. So we have written E cross B. So this E cross B, we have substituting this Poynting vector S, that is in equation 4. S is equal to 1 by mu naught E cross B. Here we are going to substitute for E cross B. So S is equal to 1 by mu naught into this E cross B we have written, we are going to write here, that is 1 by c E naught square cos square k z minus omega t plus del into z cap This is the Poynting vector. So 1 by mu naught we can write like this. We already said we have one relation, that is, as earlier we have said, 1 by mu naught into epsilon naught is equal to c square. That is 1 by c square is equal to mu naught into epsilon naught. But here we have 1 by mu naught. 1 by mu naught, no? So 1 by mu naught we can write like this. That is 1 by mu naught is equal to c square into epsilon naught. So this we are going to substitute here. That is s is equal to 1 by instead of 1 by mu naught we are going to substitute c square epsilon naught. We are going to substitute c square epsilon naught instead of 1 by mu naught. Then the other term we are going to write as it is. That is 1 by c e naught square cos square k z minus omega t plus del into z cap. So here 1c and 1c will get cancel each other. So you will get epsilon naught c e naught square cos square k z minus omega t plus del into z cap. So this is the Poynting vector s. So s is equal to, instead of these terms, these two terms, that is epsilon naught e naught square cos square k z minus omega t, we are going to substitute u. We have already written one equation now. That is u is equal to epsilon naught e square cos square k z minus omega t plus del. So here we are going to write for epsilon naught e naught square cos square minus omega t plus del, we are going to write u. So c u z cap, s is equal to c u z cap. Equation number 6. So first we have written energy stored in the electromagnetic field. Now we have written the Poynting vector s, which is nothing but the energy flux density. Then now we are going to write about the momentum density stored in the field. Momentum density stored in the field is given by P is equal to 1 by c square into s. So the momentum density, P is the momentum density, S is the energy flux density, P is the momentum density stored in the field. So instead of S we are going to substitute this, that is 1 by c square. Instead of S we are going to substitute c u z cap. So c and c will get cancelled each other. So it is equal to 1 by c u z cap. This is the momentum density. So energy density, then momentum density. Now we are going to write about the average of cosine square over a complete cycle is 1 by 2. We know that the average of cosine square, which is cos square over a complete cycle, is 1 by 2. So now we are going to write about the average value of u, that is energy stored, and the energy flux density, average value of energy flux density and average value of momentum density. So first we are going to write about the average value of u, that is u is equal to, we have already written u is epsilon naught e naught square cos square k z minus omega t plus del. This cosine square, the average value of this cosine square is 1 by 2. So instead of that we are going to write 1 by 2. So we will get the average value of u is equal to 1 by 2 epsilon naught e square. Similarly, if we write it for the energy flux density, here also we have one u, no? This u we can write as 1 by 2 epsilon naught e square. So yes, we can write like this, 1 by 2 epsilon naught c into e square, like that we can write. Here it is not e square, it is e naught square. So e naught square into cos term will come. That cos term we have written 1 by 2. So the average value of momentum density we can write like this. Energy stored in the electromagnetic field, average value of energy stored in the electromagnetic field we can write like this, and the average value of the energy flux density we can write, instead of u we can substitute this average value, that is 1 by 2 epsilon naught. Here we have one c into E naught square into z cap. So this is the energy, average value of the energy flux density. And finally the momentum density, we are going to write about the average value of momentum density. And here if you put the average value of u, we can substitute this value. So 1 by 2, already here we have 1 by 2, here c, so 1 by 2c, the remaining term, that is u, we are going to substitute here, no. So epsilon naught E naught square into z cap, equation number 11. So we have written the average value of u, average value of s, and average value of p, that is energy stored, energy flux density, and momentum density we have written here. So now we are going to write about the intensity. So intensity is nothing but average power per unit area transported by the electromagnetic wave. So now we are going to write about the intensity. Now we are going to write about the intensity, that is intensity is average power per unit area transported by the average power per unit area transported by the electromagnetic wave. So we are going to write about the intensity, which is nothing but average power per unit area transported by the electromagnetic wave, which is the intensity, and it is given by the average value of S. The S is the energy flux density, which is the energy transported. No, we have already seen. So S is equal to half C epsilon naught E naught square is the intensity. Equation number 12. So if when light falls on a perfect observer, it delivers its momentum to the surface. So if when light falls on observer, when light falls on an observer, it delivers its momentum. It delivers its momentum to the surface. So when light falls on a perfect observer, it delivers its momentum to the surface, and in a time del t, the momentum transfer is del p is equal to average value of that momentum density into a c del t. So in the time del t, the average value of the momentum transfer, the momentum transfer del p is equal to average value of the momentum density AC into del t. So in the time when light falls on observer, it delivers its momentum to the surface. In the time del t, the momentum transfer is del p is equal to average value of p AC into del t. So the radiation pressure, that is the average force per unit area, is given by. Now we are going to calculate the radiation pressure. So radiation pressure is nothing but the average force per unit area. Average force per unit area. Average force per unit area is the radiation pressure. So radiation pressure capital P is equal to average force. So force, how can we write? Force, we already know one relation, that is rate of change of momentum is the force. Here we have the momentum transfer del P. So that rate of change of momentum is del P by del T. So it is the force, average force. So radiation pressure is average force per unit area we have to write. So per unit area we have written A. So radiation pressure is force per unit area. Force is nothing but rate of change of momentum, that is del P by del T into A. So which is equal to here we have del P value. So from this equation we can write del P divided by this A into del T. If it goes to the denominator, del P by A into del T. So in the right hand side we only have average value of P into C. So which is here, instead of del P into A del T, we can write average value of P into C. Average value of P we already know, we have derived that equation, that is average value of P. Here we have derived, that we are going to substitute here. That is, instead of P we are going to write average value of P 1 by 2C epsilon naught E naught square into C. 1C will get cancel each other. So P is equal to this thing in terms of intensity, radiation pressure in terms of intensity we are going to write. So intensity is given by 1 by 2 C epsilon naught E naught square. So in this C, if it goes to the denominator, we can write I by C equal to 1 by 2 epsilon naught E square. So here instead of 1 by 2 epsilon naught E square, we can write I by C. So that's all. Thank you.